Hi, welcome to the tutorial on machine learning models with Python. I am Arnab Chakraborty from UpDegree. In this video, we are going to discuss and going to cover the machine learning introduction. So let us go for the definition of machine learning at first. Machine learning is a field of computer science that gives computer systems the ability to learn with data without being explicitly programmed. So this definition is a very important one. That means here we'll be making our system to learn from the data pattern. Huge amount of data will be given to the model. The model will learn from the data set, from the given data, might be from the database, and then the model will go for the respective forecasting on the future data. Here we shall not be going for explicit programming. So let us go for one example for better understanding. So we know that we used to get emails. These emails can be categorized into two different categories. One is the spam mail, another one is the ham mail. Spam mail means those mails which are coming from some unwanted persons. The mail body or the mail subjects are not relevant to us, and they are for the fraud kind of transactions, and they are annoying for us. So that's why we should avoid them, because they are making fake commitments and promises. So now how to detect whether a mail is a spam or the mail is a ham. Ham mail means the purposeful mails to us. So now we can put a programming, we can put some conditional statements connected by AND or OR logic in this way. So what are the cases? I'm just going to explain, going to give you some idea. So if the mail is coming from the mail ID which is not in my contact list, so that is the criteria number 1. If the mail is coming from Nigeria, it might be the criteria number 2. If the mail is having the phrase in the mail body like say lump sum, processing fees, payment, or if the mail is having some subject which is to purchase something or some offer for some new opportunities and so on. So using them I can write some if then else statements, some conditional statements to detect whether a mail is a spam or not. But the spammer can change the logic at any time. So what will happen if he is sending the mail from say not from Nigeria but from other countries, not keeping the phrases like say lump sum, processing fees, payment, USD. So these terms are not there in the mail body. So now what will happen? Again we shall have to go for the reprogramming. Again we shall have to change our conditions and so on. But that would be too much hectic and laborious for us. So here we can make one machine learning model which will be trained from the data. So what is the data? So spam mails will be coming in bulk. Multiple recipients will be getting the mail from the respective source mail ID. So that is a property number 1. Property number 2 is that most of the recipients will be responding in some peculiar way. What are they? So the mail will be deleted without being read. The mail will be read and deleted. Most of the recipients will keep the mail unread, may not be deleted instantly. So these are the different reactions or responses will be obtaining from the recipients. Some of the recipients might be marking those mails as a spam mail. So from there, doing the data analysis, finding the data pattern, my machine can forecast it is a spam mail and it is a ham mail. So in this way, you see, without being explicitly programmed, machine learning is a field of computer science that gives a computer system to ability to learn with data and having some artificial intelligence. That means the knowledge will get integrated. That means it will behave as an intelligent human being. The name machine learning was coined in the year 1959 by Arthur Samuel. So just think about this fact. In the year 1959, Arthur Samuel coined this particular term machine learning. That means during that year, the Arthur Samuel could feel that my machine will be having some intelligence, having some artificial intelligence, and my machine will be behaving as something like a human being, can go for the predictions, can do the respective forecasting and so on. So it is really striking for us. From this given figure, you can easily find that data science is actually the intersection of substantive expertise, math and statistics based knowledge, and hacking skills. So this data science is having the intersection of these three different skill sets. Machine learning is a system which can do automatic acquisition and integration of knowledge. My machine learning model is having some intelligence, having some knowledge. When the new knowledge will be coming, then that knowledge will get integrated with the pre-existing knowledge, so the knowledge will get more enriched and extended. It is that branch of artificial intelligence that deals with the construction of systems that can learn from data. So it is actually that branch of artificial intelligence that deals with the construction of systems and which will be learning from the data pattern. And obviously in this case, we are supposed to give huge amount of data and data set so that my model can get trained properly. And so if the model is getting trained properly, so their forecasting will be realistic and most of the cases that would be accurate. Develop methods that can automatically detect pattern in data and then to use this pattern to predict the future data. So after getting my model trained, when my model will get too much intelligent, have sufficient amount of knowledge, integrated knowledge, extended knowledge, enriched knowledge, so whenever the model will be given some unseen data, it can go for the future forecasting. Machine learning can predict the future based on the past. So past data will enrich, will make my model learn, and from there it will predict the future unseen data. Computer programs that automatically improve their performance through experience. So experience means through this knowledge and knowledge base. Automatically adapt and customize to individual users. As an example, we can go for personalized menus, mail filters, movie and book recommendation. Depending upon your liking, depending upon your age, depending upon your location, depending upon your gender, depending upon your websites, whatever you visit very frequently, depending upon that, our machine learning models can suggest the movie or the book which you may read, which you are supposed to watch. So in this way, we are having the personalized news, mail filters, movie and book recommendations can be done by these machine learning models, and here automatically it will adapt and customize to individual users depending upon the features of the user concerned. Discover new knowledge from huge amount of data and market analysis. So from the market analysis, we can get some pattern. Let us suppose that is a shopping mall. The shopping mall is having say 1000 different products are there. Okay. So now different consumers are coming and purchasing different items from the shopping mall. So now the thing is that we're supposed to find out that which are the frequent items or which are the items they have got invoiced in the same invoice, in the same bill very frequently. So that if we can get the pattern, then you can go for a say combo offer. We can arrange those products, those respective items on the shelf accordingly, so that my consumers will feel ease to find them out from the shelf, from the rack. So you see, so here we are doing the market analysis. So perform repetitive monotonous tasks of human which require intelligence and experience. So you know that human beings are not suitable for the monotonous job. So if you ask a human being to work on the monotonous tasks, obviously they will feel bored, they will make errors, and monotonous tasks are not suitable for the human beings. And but if the task is monotonous, even if it requires lots of intelligence and experiences, in those cases we can go for the machine learning model to replace human beings to do the task. As an example, we can go for recognize signatures or handwritten characters, driving a car, flying a plane, or landing a plane on the runway. So in those cases, we can use machine learning model for work better than the human beings. Rapidly changing phenomenon, credit scoring, financial modeling, then diagnosis and fraud detection. So you see that we're having multiple different transactions are there, where amount is getting debited from the source account is getting credited to the target bank account. So this is the transactions we usually have. but some of the transactions are fraud transactions and some of the transactions are non-fraud and real transactions. Now, how to detect that whether this transaction is fraud or not? So rapidly changing such phenomenon, so those cases we can use this machine learning model. Just consider this example, that is a fraud detection. So fraud transaction detection I'm talking about. So how to detect that whether a transaction is fraud or not? So I'm telling you some common criteria for that. The transaction is taking place between those two bank accounts for debit and credit purpose for the first time. That might be the one of the criteria, one of the pattern observed by the machine learning model. And the amount has been transferred in lump sum. There's a property number 2, criteria number 2. And after getting the amount credited in the target bank account, the amount is getting withdrawn from the target bank account instantly. That is our property number 2. Property number 3 rather, criteria 3. So now in this way you can have multiple such criteria. We can find out the pattern, you can find out from our data set. From there, my machine learning model can detect whether the transaction is a fraud or not, and accordingly it will detect the transactions and put some predictions on the future transactions also. No human expertise, experts, industrial and manufacturing control, mass spectrometer analysis, and also machine learning model can be used for drug design depending upon different features and symptoms of the disease. So in this particular video, we have discussed what is a machine learning model and what are the different fields of applications, and we have given you some examples for the better clarity on this concept. In the next video, we are going to cover the concepts and dimensions of machine learning. Please watch that one.